Hey everyone, welcome back to DC-Cember, as we continue on to the top 10 villains from Justice League, as we start with our number 6, Solomon Grundy.
Now Grundy crash!
Said on a podcast on a Monday. I don't know.
No, I think Grundy is in the perfect spot, straddling the line between these halves of the list of where I think he does have a much greater impact on the DCAU, and he's a lot more interesting character. I think he gets a lot more spotlight than
He's
the
in a
ones
lot of
we've had so
episodes.
far. Yeah,
He's in both versions of the Injustice Gang with Luthor and the Norwegia.
yep, and he's got now I'm a good guy, now I'm a demon. Like they've explored like all possible versions. Yeah.
That's his arc.
Yeah, and who would have thought someone like Grundy would have actually had an arc, because he was, in his first appearances in season 1, he was just pretty much like the big tough guy that's, not exactly intelligent, but he's a zombie, so. But then they put in this very Hulk-inspired episode with the Terror Beyond.
Yeah, I feel like it must have been like a Mark Hamill thing, since he voices him, where they're like, well, either we don't have rights to Joker or we don't have any Joker ideas. Let's bring you back in for Grundy. You had a lot of fun with that. So.
And they kind of adapted Grundy's arc from the Infinity Inc. comic series from the 80s. A little bit of that and a little bit of 90s Starman. They both had these versions of Solomon Grundy that became friendly and sympathetic and smart almost, and it's interesting how they kind of adapted that with the friendship with Hawkgirl.
You could just say these things and I'll believe you.
I know, I just don't want to be wrong. So what I said wasn't wrong. It just wasn't that detailed either.
No worries, but I mean, I guess it's good that it didn't come out of nowhere.
Yeah, there's precedent to have a friendly Solomon Grundy that sacrifices himself and is reborn as a monster again, and that's a thing they've done with the character many times over the years.
Yeah, plus I think Bruce Timm or one of the producers have stated that the setup for the Terror Beyond was based off a version of the Defenders with the Hulk, Doctor Strange, Namor, and then Nighthawk. I like they definitely had a great arc, and we even had his origin story where he was just a mobster, then got killed and cursed, but unfortunately because of where they placed him,
Slaughter Swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and I think it was not far from Gotham, I think, or depending on your version. So
similarly tied into Swamp Thing's origin story. Both Swamp Thing and Grundy are kind of connected to the Green in that same way where they're resurrected from the swamp.
But I was gonna say I like that he you don't think that you're gonna care about, like we mentioned in Injustice for All, he's just kind of there. He's the muscle. He's a big doofus. That's all he does. He's voiced by Mark Hamill because he was already gonna be there for Joker or whatever. And then they do a lot more with him in the Terror Beyond. You get to see his origin. You get to actually give a crap about him and why he does what he does. And then you actually feel terrible when he's dying, at least I do.
Me too.
And Hawkgirl being there for him and stuff, which makes it, of course, all the more emotional when she has to kill him a second time, or third time, whatever you want to count it at.
Grundy really helped bring out Hawkgirl's character, because we've seen her broken down once or twice before, but with Grundy it's surprising, because you didn't think she would care much about anyone outside the Justice League.
Well, I think she sympathizes with him in that, even though she understands that Ixtultu probably does not have Grundy's soul, Grundy thinks that he does, and Ixtultu has the same hold over him as he did to the Thanagarians, so she has that sort of connection with him on that level. And it's just a really surprisingly good arc for a character you never would have thought would have been. I still almost have to remind myself that Solomon Grundy got that much screen time. So, I do like that it's Mark Hamill. It's just kind of fun that he has that range instead of just being the Joker. And I never would have known that was him if you didn't tell me, or I figured out from the credits or whatever. So that's always cool, man.
Luthor not want you alone with him.
Oh, come on, Grundy, old pal. What's a couple of nicks between friends?
Go away.
But Grundy is a great villain, and fortunately had not one, but two sad endings.
Grundy gets his reward.
Now for our number 5, Gorilla Grodd.
Today, a new age dawns. Grodd rules.
I had an interesting expectation for Grodd. I had a handful of those DC superheroes coloring books as a kid, and he was always referred to as Gorilla Grodd. I think he's only called that like once in the DCAU. It's mostly just Grodd. But the version of him in the coloring books is this like, I don't know, his face is much more monkey looking, ape looking. Like it's this big hairy, like curly haired demon eyes kind of guy. And like he's got the white triangular Batman eyes and things like that. And so that was my understanding of Grodd, and that's all he did in those coloring books ever was he would turn everybody into monkeys. And then the Flash would run up and go and punch him in the face, and then everybody would revert, and then that'd be. And it's, no matter which coloring book it was, it's all he was ever doing. So when that was going to be the villain for this episode, I'm like, okay, I know it's exactly what's going to happen in this episode. And he's a much more cold, calculated guy in the show than in the coloring books, understandably. But I was very pleasantly surprised that, and then of course, finally he does go to turn everybody into monkeys. But
that's his big grand scheme.
Yeah, they build up to it first. Yeah.
Yep. Lamest plan ever.
Which he has done plenty of times in the comics. There was this story arc that ran between all the annuals of the Justice League books that were called JL Ape, where
Right.
they all turned into monkeys.
Despite that last plan of his, Grodd is definitely a very unique villain. One of the few that can actually be a very good charismatic leader with having people to follow him almost without question.
Yeah, he's a good leader.
Yeah, he's a very intelligent character, ironically or whatever. I just like that even among all of the, talking super intelligent gorillas, he's like top tier smart guy. So, and I love that he only spends the first appearance with his actual like helmet thing, and then Flash messes it up to give him just I can just do this. Powers Booth is also a great voice actor. Rest in peace.
I don't really like his first appearance as a solo villain. I do really like him as a leader in the Secret Society teams.
On my list, I had like the Secret Society, I think, as a separate entry, because like as great as Grodd can be on his own, like with the Secret Society, it's really unique as far as for villain team-ups, where like there's no it's not just about doing these big heists. It's all about just trying to, initially was to eliminate the Justice League before they can do anything else.
Kind of look after each other as backup.
Yeah, I mean, unlike the members of Task Force X, he kind of stands out as he could do it on his own if he really wanted to. His first appearance is a little bit sillier compared to the rest.
Yeah, that's all I meant by it. It's just sillier.
But yeah, I mean, just in general, he's up there with the greats, I think, of, and his reach is much more global than a lot of the other guys we've already talked about. So without him, a lot of things would not have happened in the DCAU.
Yep, I mean, he pretty much initiated the Justice League to disband, as well as allowed Flash to step up to be a little more serious. But I guess the saying, you either die a villain or you come back being a more dangerous threat.
He created Giganta.
He did.
Turned a little monkey girl into a big tall woman.
Yeah, that's a very unique origin for her.
Yeah.
He ended up dating Tala the Magician for a little while.
Yeah, he's got a weird taste. Yeah.
He's got some girlfriends. Girls like Grodd.
So, baby, what do you want?
He did seemingly die when he got pushed out of the air vent in outer space. But Justice League Infinity has confirmed he is alive.
Yeah, they just name drop him last second as everyone runs off.
But so did the Justice League Unlimited tie-in comics even back in the day.
Oh, he didn't die actually. The end.
Yeah. Apparently he's out there grotting it up.
Die.
You didn't see the body. You never.
That's right.
Never counts.
I guess for what prevents Grodd from being at the top 3 is just that he has a low-key sized ego, where it's like he had the Justice League, cornered and captured, minus Martian Manhunter, but he wanted to do it in front of a big stage where all can see that we're the new league now, so bow to us. but it gave the heroes a chance to fight back and humiliate them at the Super Bowl. When we get to see him in JLU, it's great that he managed to expand the Secret Society or Legion of Doom to go toe-to-toe with the League, as well as even for him to go toe-to-toe with Lex.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like the battle of the egos.
That's
All
right.
the hair versus no hair.
And I guess it's nice to know that Grodd's little ape plan is based on the comics, but still, I'm like, I figure they're going for something bigger than just that, but...
That was your master plan?
JLU had gotten sillier in that season, I would say, so didn't feel... It definitely was a little out of place, but I do like that they just had to... Like, he's still around until the last second, posing a threat to... Like, it's almost like he did that on purpose, just to see Luthor squirm, like to try to see him try to do that or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, plus we got to see a very unique villain-on-villain team fights. I don't think no show has ever done that before.
It is really interesting which villains were loyal to Grodd and which were loyal to Luthor.
Yeah, I'd say it's just more out of fear than actual like loyalty. Especially with how Luthor showed what he did to Goldface.
Yeah, I would imagine Grodd has more friends than Luthor.
Well, probably not Giganta after he tried to fry her brain.
Yeah, probably not her, yeah.
That's her problem. Giganta's not nearly enough woman for Grodd.
True.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned as tomorrow we'll continue with our list for the week. Also, be on the lookout for the upcoming Multiverse fundraiser on January 20th to the 22nd of next year. And click on the link to check the newest series, Anonymous, at their website and see its first 2 episodes for free. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content, as more will come on DC-Cember.